Boom. And we are live on Facebook, I sure hope, and not sideways on Facebook, I sure hope. This is take 3 because I did the original videos. My buddy Ryan Aho commented that it was sideways. Then I did take 2, which after I stopped, it looks like it went over without a hitch. But I was so worried about whether it was recording right, I was fumbling all my words, so I needed to do a take 3 to get this right. If you're going to do it right. And I'm doing this because we're in day 37 of the quarantine life, and I told all of you that I'd try to get a video every single day out here for everyone to help everyone get through this, talk a little bit of racing, a little bit every day. It looks like everything should be fine. So, yeah, welcome everybody. As you can see from the title, we're going to talk a little bit of fishing opener, a little bit of Mississippi Thunder Speedway down there in Fountain City, Wisconsin. Kind of a slow news day, but like I said, it got just a few takes. Minnesota fishing opener just 17 days away. It looks like the state of Minnesota last week announced or eased some restrictions over the weekend here. So that was good. So it looks like we'll be good to go. We've got 17 days to flatten this curve. I think we will. Georgia, but what could backfire could be the potential of, because Georgia's going to open up Friday, and I think South Carolina on Saturday. I'm not so sure about South Carolina, but I did hear that Georgia's going to be good to go on Friday. So we'll see if there's any racing. We got to, down there, they got to be scrambling. They can get some racing scheduled in Georgia and possibly South Carolina, if I'm correct on the Saturday time frame. So, like I said, I've been saying for about 10 days on here that I thought it was going to end sooner than most. I'm sticking by it. Looks like I'm correct so far to some degree. Obviously, if things accelerate if COVID cases accelerate, I'm going to look like an idiot. But like I said, I still think this warm weather like today here in Grand Rapids, Minnesota, beautiful sun. It's not it's not like 70 degrees, but it's pretty nice out. So we need some sun to get people going in the right direction, and I think we will cure this COVID. So I'm sure many of you caught the video, Mississippi Thunder Speedway. I don't know who the gentleman is. I don't know if he's the owner or just like a race director, who the promoter is, but gave a pretty nice video. Mississippi Thunder Speedway was looking at opening Friday of this week, which would have been the 24th, but they've now said they're pushing back to the 30th, to the 1st of May, which will be a week from this Friday, so 10 days-ish from now. Was really impressed with the way they're going about things. He's just basically said, you can go into like a store, like a craft store, and there's people all over, and they've got, however many, I can't remember exactly what he said, dozens of acres. Maybe he's got even over 100 acres of land. He said, I think we could pull this off. He's telling, the state, but he's not saying, he's not being negative to the state. He said, we are going to work with the state. We're not going rogue. We want to do this. We want to do it profitably. We want to do it right. And I think that's where it's been, very impressive. Like they said, we don't want to ruin this for everyone else going forward. We want to do this right. And they're really honed in, and I think that's great. I got to look at some notes here. But they said that, they're going to get a pay-per-view option going. Oh, and I want to reverse. So one of the stories I told incorrectly in my last video was, he made a reference to, being squished in a store. And, a C-store is what came to mind. And I was at a local C-store here today in my hometown. And, I asked the manager how things are going. He said, we are down $8,000 a day in business. $8,000 a day. And this is why you're seeing protests of people want to get back to work. Somebody put their heart and soul into a business and they're losing $8,000 a day. Now, of course, it's gasoline, so a lot of that's a low margin, right? But there's a lot of cash flow to it, okay? So, but he said on the bright side, and this just blew me away. He said, on the bright side, when the stimulus checks came last week, we knew right away because our lottery sales went from $800 a day to over $2,000. Can you imagine? $800 to $2,000? I mean, I buy 3 lottery tickets a year. I mean, talk about a sucker's game. And the state, or I guess the government in a way, this is a federal injection of money, and we can see the state's going to mop up on a lot of this. And I just can't imagine. I mean, getting free money and spending it on lottery tickets of all the goofy things you could be doing. Spend it on racing. Great sakes. But anyway, getting back to Mississippi Thunder, but they're going to do some pay-per-view. They're doing no fans, and got some DMs after the One to Go show, if South Dakota's doing it, we should be doing it. Well, and just like the gentleman pointed out in the MTS video, everyone's rules are different. Yeah, South Dakota's going to have that race, just outside of Iowa there, just outside of Sioux City. And good for them, Terry McCarl's group, and I hope it's successful. And there's the Big O, I think it's called the Big O down in Texas, they're racing. But every state has different rules on this, keep that in mind. So, but I think that if the Texas event is successful, and I think for us, for our sake, if this Wisconsin event is successful, and like I said, it sounds like they're going to be so meticulous in following the guidelines, that bodes well for us, because then, Governor Walz can look over the border and say, hey, they've been doing that. How did it go? And like I said, that's why I'm so happy to hear that they're not trying to go rogue. They're going to do things right and do things to a T. And like he said, we feel competent and capable that we can get this done. And what's great for the racers is they're talking about paying a full purse, $1,000 to win. Here's the classes they got. They're talking open late models, running the Dirt Kings rules, USRA mods, USRA B mods, USRA hobbies, and the USRA limited lates, and $1,000 to win for the mods. So they're paying a full purse. So with no fans, it's pretty good. They'll get some little pay-per-view. Now they are charging $200 a car to get in, but it's a little finicky the way he said that, because if you bring 10 people with you into your pit stall, you could all pay $20 to get to the 200. If you're used to going racing with 2 other people, well, the 3 of you are going to have to divide up to $200. Because they said they don't want any line situations where, you're standing in line, not able to social distance. He did say they're going to have, one-ways for walking paths. If you leave the pit area, they're probably going to have to wear a mask. So I thought that was interesting. Like I said, this is all good stuff as far as our sport and getting things going. No points. But like I said, it was pretty impressive when he said they're going to do a full purse. I mean, that's pretty good. Pretty early in the year, guys get to turn some laps. I also heard that Brainerd might be turning some laps this weekend, kind of a practice type event. They're letting 3 teams at a time in, is what I heard. So we're getting close to really grinding out and getting some racing in here. So I think we just need to hold our horses just a little bit. Now, where I am in northern Minnesota, I wouldn't normally, would normally be opening up around here. So I still have, about a month, 3 weeks before I would normally go to my normal home tracks here. So I'm good. But for those of you, used to already having, a few shows in, I think your time might just be sooner than later. So I just wanted to, like I said, tip my hat to the people at MTS. It sounds like they're really, really trying to do this right. He gave a very good Facebook Live. Of course, you can check that out. And like I said, I think it reflects well on the sport. It's going to reflect well for others that are going to try doing this moving forward. And I just encourage all of you that are others trying to do this moving forward, try to be just as meticulous and not go rogue. Do the right thing with your local authorities and your state authorities, and that will help everybody involved. So good luck, MTS. And good luck to all you that are fishing in 17 days. Like I said, we'll be here every day during the quarantine life to get you through this, and we'll see you tomorrow on the next video. Take care.